Hey YouTube, how the heck are we doing? It is Foul Play here, back for the fourth match of this Pauper League. On the die roll, up against Parallax. We've got a pretty decent looking hand here. We're going to go ahead and keep it. Guess we have the option to turn one Silhana Ledgewalker, but I think Scout should be sufficient in most matchups. So I guess we do have the option to Cartouche. Get that extra 1 point of damage in. I guess it's not the most important thing in the world though. So Fine Forest, play Abundant Growth. Island from the opponent, could be Fairies, could be Demir. I guess we can play around a bit of Force Spike action from our opponent. Alright, so in for 5 damage. Very good start. Opponent cycles Ash Barrens. What are we finding? Finds snow-covered plains. Alright, the Modern Age from the opponent. Draws, discards, deep analysis to the grave. And holy smokes, are we on fire or are we on fire? That is huge draw. That's got to be game. No way they come back from this, right? Guess like several fog effects maybe, but we'll see. Opponent cycles the Ash Barrens, finds snow-covered island. Passes to us, and I mean, let's get in for victory. Any response here? Looks like there's something. Echoing Truth. Okay, so that's going to slow us down ever so slightly. We still have lethal damage though. In hindsight, opponent, you should be going after the Ethereal Armor there because that's going to cut the power by 4 rather than 2. Rather than 3, pardon me. Alright, so we could be up against a Familiars deck versus our opponent here. This doesn't look like an exact list that our opponent was running or anything, but I guess hate cards to be aware of. Dawnbringer Cleric. Revoke Existence, Negate, so Counter Magic. Oh, Holy Light, interesting. I don't think they're going to be bringing that in, but Stonehawk Dignitary is also another one, combined with the Ephemerate to lock us out for some amount of time. So if our opponent is a Familiars deck, like similar to what we saw there, there's not much point of bringing in Flaring Pain because they didn't have fog effects. I think we probably want to be just that little bit careful, bring in Flaring Pain just in case. Another card they can have in blue is Curfew, which makes both players bounce a creature. We do have a little bit of main deck protection in Cartouche of Solidarity for that though. As for boards out, I guess like maybe 1 mask, maybe 2 mask, yeah. Let's try and be quick with Lotus Petal. We also saw the Echoing Truth, which is a card to keep in the back of our mind. Alright, well our auras are great here, but I am going to mulligan this. No lander. It's looking a lot better. We'll keep this. Don't have access to white mana quite yet. God, maybe this isn't a keep. Maybe this is a mulligan. Ditch Ancestral Mask. Hope not to get punished by drawing Triple Forest. Tranquil Grove for the opponent. Lotus Petal for us. Alright, well that gives us something. Okay, Graveyard from the opponent. So, looks like a potential Esper deck here that we are versing. I guess we want to start trying to get in. Not hugely happy about this. I guess the opponent could also have something like Annul. Opponent cycles Ash Barrens. We are also like end of Arms of Hades type negative effects, damage effects to the board. Dawnbringer Cleric. Alright, well, it's a little bit sad when we have no mana. Maybe like Ash Barrens or Plains would be a really good draw here. Nope. Alright, well, we find Rancor. Rancor is a pretty good one to start on. Let's see if our opponent has some description of counter magic. Start attacking. Guess putting this on warrior token was pretty loose. We saw Echoing Truth game 1. If they bounce the warrior token, we lose our Rancor. So it was very, very questionable. I guess they have Omen of the Dead, and they can bring Dawnbringer Cleric back to hand. Ash Barons. Alright, well, let's kick it off with Rancor. Opponent. Holy Light. Yep, so I guess it could be Familiars. Wipes away the board. Modern Age. Another Modern Age. Discarding Prismatic Strands on the first one. Prohibit on the second. Opponent is now tapped out. Abundant Growth is decent enough. We'll go ahead and play out our Ledgewalker. Then we can Abundant Growth on it and start loading up some auras. Opponent plays out a third Modern Age. My goodness, they're going to have a lot of flyers, and flyers can block the Ledgewalker here. I'll Muldrifter there. Wait. Maybe they just slow rolled both the triggers. So, Auramancer and Destroy Evil to the graveyard with the Modern Age triggers, playing out Muldrifter for Hardcast. So, let's go ahead. Abundant Growth. Find Lotus Petal. Lotus Petal is handy. We'll play it to play around Prohibit. Oh wait, that's a hard counter, is it? Counter spell if its mana value is 2 or less if it's kicked. Counter if it's 4 or less instead. Alright, well, go ahead. Ethereal. That one resolves. Sentinel's Eyes. Alright, that gives us an attack. I guess our opponent can Echoing Truth, block, and pretty much beat us, but I mean, we can't really play around that. That's not reasonable for us to play around that. Oh, there was an Ephemerate in there. Okay. Alright, so opponent, Vector Gliders, transform, plays out Sunscape Familiar, plays out Muldrifter. That is a board state, and we do not have one of those. Alright, we're going to concede here, go to sideboarding. Good news is, this time we will be on the play. So I didn't see a huge amount of counter magic from our opponent, really. I think we might be better off removing the Lotus Petal here, bring back in the Ancestral Mask. So what I want to be doing here is playing around our opponent's like attrition with the Dawnbringer Cleric. And I guess we'll bring in 2 Young Wolves to play around Holy Light. Alright, we can keep this. It's not super amazing. Holy Light's still somewhat strong against us. We can turn 3 a Mask though, which is pretty strong. Building up good auras in the meantime. If our creature dies, we get Rancor back. That's what we like to see. Opponent has Mulligan to 6, so with their disgusting amount of advantage they get via their entire deck. Happy to see we're not necessarily getting punished. Guess we can slow roll the Abundant Growth. Almost seemed like my opponent has a Force Spike there. I don't mind losing Rancor to a counter effect. No counter effect, getting in for 5. Alright, what do we got? Cycle on Ash Barons. Let's say okay. Alright, so critical moment. Opponent plays out Plains, presumably. Yes, they do. Plays out a Familiar. I'd really see be happy to see a Familiar. Revoke Existence instead. Find Ledgewalker. Alright, well, let's keep this pressure going. And Ancestral Mask. Attack for 5. Put our opponent to 10. Hope to keep this pressure up. Opponent cycles the Ash Barons. I like to see that for blue. Does this mean counter magic is happening? You know what's like not a good counter magic target? Abundant Growth, and it does grow our board state. They could also have Echoing Truth, I suppose. Find Armadillo Cloak. Alright, let's start by attacking for 7. See how our opponent responds. No blocks. Alright, they take the damage. So play out Ledgewalker. Guess that's getting countered. Okay. Lose focus. Counter unless we pay 2 mana. Do not have the 2 mana. Opponent goes to their draw step. They see their card and they concede. It's no good. This giant fat Glade Cover Scout with Trample with 7 power. It's far too good for them on 3 life. Thank you all for watching the video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to let me know down in the comment section below. If you're new here, want to see more action like this, please consider subscribing. Till next time, guys, have a great day.